You open wide your hand, O Lord. My dear fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, and my dear friends in Jesus Christ. 5-year-old Raju accompanied his mother to the grocery shop. Raju's mummy spent a lot of money on her purchases, and the Baniya, the shopkeeper, was very happy with his sales. Thus, he opened a tin of peanuts and said to Raju, "Here, son, take some nuts." Raju was quiet and declined to take the peanuts. "Go ahead," said the Baniya again and again. "Take some." Raju refused. Finally, the Baniya put his own hand into the tin and gave Raju a handful of nuts. Outside the shop, Raju's mother asked him, "Son, normally you grab everything that's given to you. Why did not you take the nuts yourself?" Raju said, "Mummy, my hand is small. I knew that if the Baniya gave me with his hands, I would get more peanuts." You open wide your hand, O Lord, and grant our desires is the beautiful refrain to today's psalm. Human hands and hearts are small. The Lord's hand and heart is immeasurable. When God gives abundantly, incalculable and overflowing. This glorious giving is the theme of today's first and third readings. The miraculous feeding by Elisha, narrated in the first reading, is not widely known, but prototype of the miraculous feeding in the Gospels. The pattern of the feeding narrative is the same. Food is brought to the prophet. The amount is specified. Objections are raised that the quantity of food is inadequate. Ignoring objections, the prophet commands that the food be distributed. The crowd has its fill and there is excess food left over. In John's narrative of the feeding of the multitude, a small boy offers his food. The boy's contribution amounts to 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. Objections are raised about the inadequacy of the food. Vice versa, the immensity of the crowd here. Philip thinks in monetary terms, and Andrew looks at the crisis lowly from human perspective. Jesus ignores his disciples' objections, prays, and then distributes the food. The people eat their fill, and 12 baskets of leftovers are collected. Today's Gospel brings to mind 3 events: past, present, future. First, the story is not only reminiscent of Elisha's miraculous feeding, but also of Yahweh's manna miracle in the time of Moses. Second, Jesus' action of giving thanks and breaking bread is typical of the Passover meal and has present Eucharistic significance for us who give thanks and break bread at every Eucharist. Third, the story stresses that the people were filled. This sense of fulfillment is a foreshadowing for the final messianic banquet at the end of time. Gandhiji said, if God was to come to this world, he would come in the form of bread. Jesus is bread, satisfying human hungers with his words, works, and his whole life broken and shared. Jesus challenges every Christian to be bread. Our breadness lies in our capacity to radically give of ourselves to others in self-sacrificing love. The little boy who gives Jesus his bread is a role model for us. Like Raju, who knew that the Baniya's hand was larger than his own. The little boy perhaps sensed that Jesus would work wonders. Thus, he handed over all that he had into the hands of the Master. Am I ready to hand over everything into his hands? Today, too many human beings live life with closed hands. Thousands die on our streets hungering for bread, while the rich die due to overeating the bread snatched from those who toil with woefully inadequate wages. What is our response to poverty and hunger? Let's end with the prayer of Ignatius of Loyola. Take, Lord, my liberty, my memory, my understanding, and my entire will. Take whatever I am and have. Give me only your love and your grace. With this, I am rich enough and desire nothing more. May God bless each one of us. Amen.